So this is a bonsai tree that we planted about a month and a half ago, and we already put it into this pot, and I don't think it's been trimmed yet, but it's about ready to get trimmed once. This concept of grafting a columnar basil to a small leaf basil was developed in Israel about 3 years ago, and as soon as they were on the market, I bought some as unrooted cuttings. So 3 years ago, I planted the very first one that we got into this little fairy garden, and as you can see from this plant right here, it actually grows into what looks like a tree. It has a trunk like a tree. It has what almost looks like bark on the stem, and the graft occurred right here, and as you can see, it's good for several years, and then the tree grows big like this. Now this one hasn't been trimmed in a while because they're looking for a certain sort of look here in this fairy garden, but you could trim this and trim this and trim this and eat it, and it'll grow back, eat it, it'll grow back, and it could last for years. Indoors in the wintertime, outdoors in the summertime. But this is what it looks like when you buy it. They're $9.99. This is what the most mature crop of those little basil trees looks like. And these are ready to sell right now. And in fact, if these aren't sold in the next week or so, this will have to get trimmed about the size of a, maybe between the size of a golf ball and a baseball. And then you could eat the top, and that'll grow back and look just like this in just a few weeks. These are all grown in organic soil, and because it's an edible crop, of course, we grow them organically so that there's no chance of anyone consuming something they don't want to consume. But these are all different basil trees. Oh, and they come in two different stem lengths. This is a tall graft. That one needs to be tied. And this is a short graft, but they're both basil trees. Okay, so one of my favorite plants is a sensitive plant, or Mimosa pudica, and it's one of my favorite plants because kids love them. A lot of my customers love them. We give them away free to kids if they're accompanied by a parent while I'm here. And so this is one that we put in the fairy garden a couple years ago. It's sort of on its last leg, but it's still functional. This is what the leaves look like by day. They close up at night, and they also close up when you touch them. So I'm going to touch this leaf, and you'll see what it does. See how the leaf closes up like that? So they say it's a sensitive plant because, oops, oh, that was an accident. And the whole thing kind of collapses and closes up. It's a self-defense mechanism. Like if a bunny comes along and takes a bite, the whole thing closes up and looks dead, and then the bunny is less likely to want to take a bite if the whole thing's all closed up and looks dead. Not to mention, it has little thorns, these picky little thorns up and down the stem.